Hey, I wanted to make a blog about something that happened to me recently. Recently I was cheated out of a lot of money. Well, a lot of money to me, about $650. And so my friend, their phone was stolen recently on holiday, and they were kind of living without a phone for a little while, and I thought, hey, I could find a replacement quick. I'll upgrade my phone, she'll have my phone, and things will be great. So I was motivated to find something quickly. Normally I think about these things for a long time, but in this case I just I wanted to find the best deal as quick as possible. So I found this ad, arranged to meet with this guy, met in front of a coffee shop, and he brought this. And I opened it up, and so here's the phone. There's the phone, right? And we sat at this coffee shop for a little bit, and I brought my SIM card with me so that I could stick it in this phone and test it out, make sure that it worked on my network, because I'm kind of on one of these cheap networks, and I wasn't sure it was going to work with the phone. And so I brought that, tried it, couldn't get it to connect, put it back in my my existing phone, and I had a really weak signal, so I thought, oh, maybe I'm just in a weak area. And this guy said he was in a hurry, and so I'm just gonna say I'm just really trusting of people, and I don't want that to change. But I put a lot of trust in this guy, and I bought this phone, and I paid him $650 cash, which maybe to some people that's not a lot. To me, that represents about half of my monthly living expenses. My rent is around $550, and then I have a couple loan payments and utility bills, and then food and groceries and stuff. I don't save a lot of money. In fact, I don't save anything. I live month to month, and I up until recently I haven't been making much more than what I need to pay my rent and those bills. And anyway, I paid this guy, and we shook hands like two human beings trusting in each other. And he hailed a cab, and I went home to try my new phone. So here's a phone. You can see it's looks like an iPhone 6, right? Looks like an iPhone 6. Looks like an iPhone 6. Turns out it's not an iPhone 6. It's actually an Android phone inside of an iPhone 6 body. And then somebody has gone to great lengths to create a version of Android that looks like iOS. And with the environment that I was in, and this guy being in a hurry and stuff, I looked over this phone. I even tried my SIM card. I thought I was being diligent. It wasn't later till I got home, and I tried to set up my Wi-Fi network, and it was having problems. And then I went to download an app from the App Store here, and I got this screen. As you can see, it says, add a Google account, because this is Android. And when I fooled around with the camera a little bit, I found that if I took a slow-mo video, let's do this here. Look, it looks like an iPhone. If I took a slow-mo video, so slow-mo, okay. For one, those aren't Apple sounds. And let's go watch that video now. So, slow-mo. That's not slow-mo. It's not slow-mo. Yeah. So that's what I got. Not an iPhone. But it's it's in a box. It says iPhone. Even says designed by Apple in California on the back. All that. I did a little bit of research. Turns out it's a fake made in China, and it is an actual iPhone body, and they put an Android phone inside of it. And yeah, so I sent this guy back a message. I didn't want to let on that I knew that it was a fake. I thought maybe I could just convince this guy that it's not working on my network, and we'll just return it. I'll let him keep some money for his trouble. And he insisted that it was a new phone and I should take it to my carrier. So the next day I texted him back and let him know that I was aware that it was fake, and that if he didn't know that, I'm sure he'd have no problem returning my money and taking the phone back. But if he did know that, then he intentionally frauded me, and I'd have to make a police report. And I tried to appeal to his better nature, but he stopped responding to my texts. And yeah, so I had to make a police report. But I got to thinking, because initially I felt violated. Like, I felt really awful. Lots of anxiety and stuff afterward. I mean, it's a large amount of money for me, and I was kind of counting on the sale of my existing phone to pay for half of this new one, and so it was money that I wasn't expecting to spend, all of it. And so I was thinking about it, and as a Christian, we're taught that everything that we have is not ours, but we're stewards of it, and that's even our money. Even the work that we do is a gift to do the work, and the money that we receive is something that, you know, we get to use to express the nature of the God that we believe in, who's generous. And I was thinking about that, and I was thinking about how offended I was that somebody took money from me. And I thought, you know what, this is a liberating thought. Like, this isn't my money. I was holding it for God, essentially, from my Christian perspective. And I thought, you know what, my God is a redeemer. And redemption means to take something good, or take something bad, and turn it into something good. And I thought about that, and I thought about this money, and I thought about what leads people to do these things to other people. And I don't want to make excuses for this person, but certainly somebody doesn't become a criminal overnight. It's a lot of compromises till you get to that point, and you want to cheat people. You feel you need to cheat people, or you make it a habit. And, you know, when I think about being a Christian, I think about following Jesus Christ. And I know there's a lot of Christians that they have biblical heroes from the Old Testament to the New Testament, but I believe that our ultimate hero is Christ, who said that he was God. And I think that's the example that we have to follow. And all the other heroes in the Bible they're great, but they're sinful like me, but Christ wasn't sinful. And I look at Christ's example and I see that he says that we should bless those who curse us. And I think, wow, that's like, it's unbelievable. But from my point of view, you know, I once cursed him, and he blessed me. He came to me, and he forgave me. And so I want to forgive this guy. So, that's what I'm trying to do, forgive him. And at the same time, I want to now pray in a way where I ask God to bless this guy. Not because of what he did, but because of who God is. I want God to bless this guy because God blesses people that hurt other people. He blesses people that want nothing to do with him. And he alone has the ability to redeem something bad and transform it into something good. So my prayer for this guy is that God will redeem this situation for him. Somehow this money will bless him. And that my words, I sent him a few text messages afterward basically saying like, there's a better way to live. And I'll be praying for him. So I hope that he's able to see a better way to live. And I hope that God delivers him from his circumstances that led him to this place. And that God shows him the joy of choosing righteousness over evil in these situations. Choosing blessing people instead of taking from people. I think about how Adam and Eve, the first people in the garden, before sin entered the world, they were there as gardeners. They were there to enrich that place, to be a blessing to the garden, not to be, the people there just feeding on its resources, but to be there to tend to it, to cultivate it like a gardener would, and to guard it, which is where the word gardener comes from. And I think about what Christ offers us as Christians. When we believe in Jesus, we are offered the opportunity to take on this new identity, that we can be restored to this purpose again, to be a blessing to the world, to the people around us. And that's what I want to do. I want to bless this guy. He's a part of the garden. And I've been redeemed in that garden, and I want others to be redeemed as well. And so, yeah, that's what I'm praying for. And it's not easy. It's not easy to live this way. It's countercultural. We don't bless the people that hurt us. But that's what's amazing about Christ. And that's what's amazing about my God, is that He does. He blesses those who curse Him. And He makes us a blessing to others. Thanks for watching this video. This is my first vlog. I know that politics and religion, those are those two controversial subjects you don't normally bring up. But I'm not here to get subscribers or get lots of views. I just want to express truths that I believe, and hopefully you're encouraged by them, and hopefully that you hear some truth in it. And yeah, thanks for watching.